Welcome back to another episode of the Blockrunner podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on, dude?
On the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
Finally, we're back.
Finally.
We are a couple of days late of this podcast. We should have recorded a long time ago, released it on Saturday, but that did not happen.
Yeah.
For lots of reasons.
Lots and lots and lots of reasons. It's definitely out of our normal etiquette, dude. We've been like on, man, I wish we knew exactly like what the streak was. It's like a weekly podcast at least. It had to be at least a year.
Well, at least a year, yeah.
It's pretty solid, dude. A year of like not missing a single.
Well, not only that, sometimes we would record 2 podcasts.
Yeah. But still, it's been a while since like we had like an interruption. But these current day events definitely warrant.
Yeah. It's
like
like sleep deprivation.
Yeah. Mental fucking.
Mental fatigue.
Yeah.
Customer support fatigue.
Yeah. Technical recalibrations.
Yeah.
Actual like financial finagling, just in a sense, just to like, because we're going to explain what I mean by that. Because if you weren't present during one of these tests we did, you have absolutely no idea what went down. Yeah. But it was
we spent a lot of time looking in the mirrors, like, what are we doing here?
I didn't do that. I didn't know you were having mirror talks, dude. Fuck, it's pretty severe. But it was pretty rough, dude. The car ride home after that day was definitely like, holy shit, dude. That, it's like, that bridge right there. All I have to do is like,
all I gotta do is turn it.
It's like, problems over. Are solved, dude. No more stress. Like, fuck. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We got through it. It was a mental challenge for sure. But when is anything worth doing not, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what we like to do, right? Is like reminisce on the difficulties of actually trying to like do some shit.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a Web3 like startup founder exclusive either. This applies to like all facets of living.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we're trying to do anything. Whether it's like, I don't know, I want to be the best fucking Scrabble player.
Yeah, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And if everybody's doing it, it's not worth doing.
Exactly. Yeah, so we were living representations of that, dude. It's definitely a struggle, but it's worth it, and we keep going. So yeah, let's rewind it all the way back, dude.
Yeah, so what the hell are these guys talking about, right?
Yeah, a lot of you guys listening probably know. If you're in our Discord, and if you're not, I recommend you guys join in, just because, if you're into this DMT stuff that we talk about, digital matter theory, if you like the idea of like cryptocurrency, pivoting, not necessarily pivoting, but now like a split in the road happening where like 15 years of arbitrary creation, all of a sudden this whole new paradigm is afoot. If that like tickles you in any way, join the Discord, because like that's what we do, right?
I see what you did there. I don't think you even noticed.
I didn't. What did I do?
You said split.
Dude, what
the you said it.
Of course I didn't notice that, dude. You're talking about that fucking movie, aren't you?
That's right.
Dude, how's that still in your mind? You really like that movie.
It was a great movie.
It was all right. It was cool. I mean, it was interesting depiction of like just how fucked up the human psychology can get.
I guess the reason why it was so good is because of the acting from James McAvoy.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed it.
Yeah, I can always appreciate like a solid, performance for sure. I was like, this guy really got into character, dude. Like, I believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but still, it's like it's terrifying that's just like one of the many like arrays of mental diseases out there.
It's true. Yeah.
Dissociative identity disorder, DID.
Yeah.
Basically, split personality disorder, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just like the whole kind of combination of the disorder, like a mental disorder plus superpowers.
Yeah, the superpower aspect that I still haven't like understood yet, but
yeah,
I got a couple more movies to watch too, apparently. So this is what we were talking about before we slapped the record button on this fucking movie. But yeah, that's not at all what I was trying to do there, dude. I was literally talking about the actual
the fork in the road with arbitrary and non-arbitrary.
Correct.
The split.
The current day split that we have bestowed.
Yeah.
Because of DMT.
That's right.
So anyways.
Yeah, so what exactly are we talking about? So over the last week, we have been working on the Redacted launch, and we've been running these tests. And these tests have been running as well as tests are supposed to run, right? There's some problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
some people showed up, not really. They didn't do like their Webster's research on like the word test.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, they showed up and they meant it. They're like, what did I just mint?
Right. But it was more like the idea of like they showed up to a test and they were like expecting flawless execution.
Yeah.
And they were like pissed off, like at any like sign of like
errors or
yeah. I was like, dude,
bad user experience.
It's a test, dude. That's the whole point. That's why we're doing this. Is like unacceptable.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah, these tests happened, and even those people were converted into like, I think
believers.
I don't know what. Yeah, because I think the first test was like an interesting one, right? Because it took 5 hours roughly to get to the point where people actually were able to like
that's right.
interact.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So let's talk about that one.
Yeah. So we set a block height. I guess I can show you guys.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, there's a whole damn thing happening here. We put out a Medium article about it like last week. Man, I don't know if you guys can get you that link, but maybe we can to our Mediums.
Yeah.
Where we described this whole thing called the Blockpad experience, right? We gave it a new name. Everybody out in the world has the Launchpad, right? Magic Eden, OpenSea,
boring, lame,
boring, old news.
Old news.
That's arbitrary stuff.
Yeah.
Launchpad. So we gave it a Blockpad, a new name. So this is essentially like similar features and expectations, but all rooted to the blocks. Therefore,
Blockpad.
It's really not that interesting the way we came up with the name, but the actual activity, that's the interesting part.
Yeah. So why this new activity? Why Blockpad? Why not Launchpad? Why not do it like the
like
old
everybody else?
Oh, everybody else. Why not? Well,
seriously, why? Yeah, why the hell did you do this to us, Will? Why would you? We
yeah,
could have done it like everybody else.
Yeah, I guess this is my brainchild.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the very beginning with DMT. So people would just come in, see like this huge like square, and they would just come and mint. It was completely open, and if someone were to beat you in the mempool with fees, and you would just get front ran, and it's just traditional ordinal stuff.
Yeah,
no big deal. So we had a few mints happen on DMT. We had Natcats and then Chaos, all these others.
Yeah.
And there's a pattern for me. It's just a few people, like 200, 300, 400 people minting all the assets to themselves.
Yeah, 8 to 10,000 traditionally.
Yeah.
It's like
8 to 10,000, assets being held by 400 people on average.
Yeah, so that's some scary implications there, right? Where it's like a handful of actors have large percentage of the circulating supply.
Mm-hmm.
Existing supply, whatever you want to call it. So, they have a lot of control over basically the dynamics of the market activity for that
Correct.
asset itself, right? So that's not very healthy. It prevents new potential prospective like community members from onboarding, right? Out of that fear itself. It's like, dude, I don't want to get into something where some guy out there who holds like a 500 of these can just easily dump on the market and I'm screwed.
That's right.
I'm holding the bag.
That's right.
Right. So yeah. People pointed that out, specifically King pointed that out.
Yeah, so King comes in, they say, well, I like DMT. This is cool. I wanna do some art on DMT, but I definitely don't want 400 minters to be holding all my art. Sure. Like this is a non-starter. Yeah. And so they reached out. I was like, hey man, this is cool, but is there something we can do about this like distribution process? Is like, well, King, we're on it already. And so we've been working with Track and Benny. I was like, Benny, dude, it's like, Tap is doing really well, and Tap can do even better if we solve this problem, right? With it's like this little distribution situation that we have here. If we can widely distribute it, we're gonna have a successful situation happening with DMT.
Yeah.
It was like, what do you need? And I was like, well, we need some way to like solve all these problems. It's like, I got it. It's called privilege auth. It's like let's work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So after a couple of weeks of working on it, and we're working on the front end, which is a PvP experience, which is basically this map. People join this link, basically the same link here, and then you join a PvP arena of who's going to claim which block.
Yeah.
Right? And so you and I are competing for the same block. The person who clicks on it first is the one who reserves it, and it's just like this whole mania ensues.
Yeah.
So Benny's working on the back end, we're working on the front end. And then we do this test. First test happens. We set a block height, a future block height. We're waiting. What do you know? We're waiting for 3 blocks. The first block takes 70 minutes to mine.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here with the community after waiting for so long of like making this thing work. then we launch it, and then it takes forever for Bitcoin to mine a block. Is that you?
That is me, dude.
Wow, dude.
I'm touching you in virtual space.
Wow, don't do that.
You like that?
And
dude?
then I do like that. You see that?
Why? Look at that heart, dude.
See that heart?
I'll give you a thumbs down. I don't
Don't
approve.
do that. Don't do that. It's thumbs up all the way.
So yeah, by the way, we added emojis in case you couldn't tell. Yeah, so it goes deep, like as far as like, okay, so the whys, the hows, you know, and the whats, right? You're kind of explaining what this whole thing is. We kind of talked about a little bit about how it's being done, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, and there's a lot of like technical considerations here. Hence, like heavy need for testing of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we're definitely nowhere near complete. And this is why we had to like delay the launch another week. We really wanted to like execute on the expected, you know, release of all this stuff, just because, you know, we have.
Yeah. Well, there was an unexpected situation occur, right?
Yeah, but we have egos like anybody else, right? Like,
do we? I thought we were completely level-headed and.
Well, the point being, I like to win, dude. It's like, you know, when I play a game of COD, or you know, if I was an athletic type of individual and I stepped on the field, dude, I would want to win. You know?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, God didn't give me those physical grace, the physical gracefulness to like enter the field in any kind of like impactful manner. But nonetheless, that's in us, right? It's like we want to succeed and do things right, like you know, as best we can.
Yeah, correct.
But as we know, the fucking universe isn't like that, like
that
frictionless.
Easy. Yeah,
there's a lot of shit that goes wrong, and that's part of the winning process, right? You have to like overcome all that.
That's right.
Which is exactly where we're at, right? We're
Tom Brady doesn't have 10 rings, dude. How many times did he show up in the
he's got a lot,
Super Bowl?
He probably showed up about
10, I think.
like 9 or 10.
10.
Well, exactly.
Holy
he doesn't
shit.
have 10 rings. He has 7.
Yeah, but he still won a lot.
Yeah, but
yeah,
he doesn't have 10.
He's not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. Nothing
right.
is perfect. Even Apple like fumbles like
100%.
The infinite resources they have, and like you know, all the genius engineers they have. Every now and then
you can't just
buy
buy that
perfect.
phone.
Yeah, every now and then
can't buy it.
They're not perfect sometimes, right? So this is part of life and reality. So you know, we're trying our best here, but nonetheless, okay. So why are we doing it like this, dude? Let's talk about that a little bit.
The whole mint.
Yeah, like this whole
PvP.
Yeah, because
we're making Bitcoin fun again, dude. That's what we're doing.
Well, I thought Bitcoin was always fun.
I thought that was what we're supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're actually making Bitcoin pretty fun. You know,
I think so too. Yeah.
So that's the okay. So that's the thing, right? Whenever we were first thinking about this idea, like throwing it across, like, dude, I was like asking you, dude, this is gonna make like this is gonna make the minting experience much more difficult for people, right? Like, why would you do that? Most people like they want things to be easier and like more, you know, like a Luminex experience. Whenever like the DMT stuff was popping off, Luminex just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they just entered the chat. It's like, dude, we got this like super streamlined way to like basically like scoop up all these DMT mints and like you know.
Yeah, just in like a very simple kind of like interface.
It's just listed out. Here's all the valid mints. Have at it, boys.
Yeah. And
the people like fucking picked it up and it's like, that's what we want. We just want ease of use.
Yeah.
We went the complete polar opposite direction. We're like, you know what? There's more verticals here other than ease of use. How about like fun and engaging and like interactive and like an actual experience? Well, nobody's ever like really tried to do that.
Yeah, correct. And ultimately what this is like, there's a platform here that can be expanded upon. Mm-hmm. Like today you see orange and gray squares. Tomorrow you get to see the art.
Yeah.
Like you can click the art that you want and you can inscribe it. And you know, something like a Luminex won't be able to do that because they first probably don't care enough to do that, and second, they're in the kind of like we just show text here and that's it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they care enough to do that. In fact, I think they completely pivoted away from DMT. They did. Like straight all in runes. So they found their
they're wave riders, as you know. That's a completely fine strategy to have. Just like understand what the market wants, you give them what they want, and then move on when no one gives a damn about whatever it is you had already.
You could say fuck, dude. It's okay. Nobody gives a hoot. You know. But yeah. So if they were to start a podcast, they would be the wave runners, right? So
wave riders, dude.
Oh, Wave Riders. My bad. We are the block runners, though, right?
That's right. We run blocks, dude.
We run the fucking blocks, dude.
That's right.
But not just us. Our whole community, the whole ethos of everybody who aligns with how we're thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we wanted to like tangibly produce with this like this whole experience and like this whole new technical paradigm, right? Like this is it. You're literally traversing through block space in our interface here on Mscribe.
Yeah.
You're block running, dude.
Yeah.
So hold on, you're outpacing me. I gotta find you now. I lost you. There you are.
There
see?
you are.
This is it, dude. This is as close as we can get to Bitcoin from like a human's perspective, right? And because the whole nature of DMT and non-arbitrary tokens is we've unlocked a whole new value case for the data within these blocks, right? So why would you want to be so close to the blocks before DMT?
I mean,
you wouldn't, is the point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
there's no reason to.
Yeah.
Unless you just really were interested to know, like, you know, these transactions happening.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I think DMT has really unlocked the interest in like looking into Bitcoin. Other than just using it, it's like let's actually look at the data from Bitcoin. It's like maybe there's something here, and the fact that we can even do a meta protocol where you can leverage the block data in the way that we're using it with DMT is very cool. Yeah. And then the fact that because you're leveraging block data, you're using data that is locked with thermodynamic properties.
100%.
And you can't edit that information. That is cool.
Yeah.
Right. And so now it's like Bitoshi, for example, he saw the block data and say, hey, you know, I kind of see a metaverse in here.
Yeah.
And then other people, right? EV comes in, it's like, I see the block data. It kind of looks like cats.
Yeah.
Right. And so that is what we're trying to unlock here.
100%.
And that's what's really interesting. And then so this minting experience where we're trying to put together is this PvP experience that allows you to compete for the blocks on this minting interface.
Correct.
And so we have a chance we're competing for these orange spots. And as soon as I click it, you see a blue square, I see a blue square. You can't click on blue squares. You can only click on orange squares.
Correct.
And then I go ahead and mint. And then with privilege auth, you don't have to worry about front running or snipers or rocket launchers of any kind, right? It's just there's no way anybody can take that mint. And that's the whole point of the technology.
100%. So that's how we envision it, and that's how we want it to function, right? So we got pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Very, very, very close. But because, you know, through all of our testing, so we described one test, the one that took like 5 hours.
Yeah, so it took 5 hours to get to the test, even though 5 hours ago we said we were starting.
Yeah. At the we wanted to get to the point where people, basically you start in this lobby.
Yeah.
It's just a waiting room, and like, you know, hundreds, even thousands of people are like piling in there in anticipation of this block that's going to be mined.
Yeah.
That's what kind of like kickstarts this whole event, right? And then it's an instant port. It's not even like you need to refresh at the end of this block.
Yeah.
Everybody's screen just morphs into this, and everybody just starts populating at the same time.
Yeah, let me see.
I guess we do have a recording somewhere of this, right? In case you guys haven't experienced it for yourself. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is one of the later tests.
Yeah, the very first one is the more interesting one, right? Because it shows like
nobody
on the minting field to like just straight pandemonium. It's like everyone's like, oh shit, I'm in here. What do I do?
Yeah.
But they figured it out pretty quick. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to click on a block. But yeah, as of this testament, it's distributing a crown, a 3D crown that we created. It is literally the Mscribe royalty package. What that entitles you to, TBD. It's really nothing, to be honest. It's just you got status, dude.
Yeah.
You got a crown.
Yeah, it's
forever
a crown
in your UNAT inventory.
Yeah, it's a representation of your participation of the test.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people. I mean, I feel like there's high esteem to that.
Yeah, man.
Assuming this actually takes off, and like 10 years from now, this becomes like a very standard. Or actually, no, not this. We want like this to evolve into like a real PvP use case, right?
Yeah, correct.
Like ultimately, the end goal of all of this is to get us playing Halo. So like wrap this whole minting interface into a Halo match.
Yeah, right? Halo match. Yeah,
like 1,000.
Yeah, it's like King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you King of the Hill, one of these like orange squares.
It's the block,
and you defend it, and then if you defend it for 30 seconds, that's yours.
It's yours, dude. That's hopefully that's what we're hoping is like the final outcome of all this.
Yeah.
And just like putting this into motion with these little squares and like putting people into a shared multiplayer virtual space in a competitive scene.
Yeah.
It's gonna lead to like an inspiration for developers. Like, you know what? I can expand on this and like, how about I give each of these individuals like a smoke bomb or something like that?
Yeah.
Let me just smoke these blocks.
Yeah. Flashbang.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
Stun grenades. Like, fuck, I can't move.
Yeah.
Things like that. And there's just like little 2D guys just throwing like little, equipments at each other.
Yeah.
But it's gonna evolve from there. And then before you know it, it's like some guy, he's like saved up enough points or whatever. I can have a carpet bomb. It's like a fucking plane just coming like just taking people out. Things like this,
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do this?
Well, for a lot of people, it's not obvious, but for us, considering we're like metaverse maxis, this makes too much sense.
Yeah.
This has always been like our vision of the metaverse, and like people keep asking like why the metaverse?
Yeah.
How is that going to add anything to the internet?
Yeah.
Like why is the metaverse, like the internet's fine as is? Like why do we need to like traverse this utility into a 3-dimensional experience like with full immersion and stuff?
I mean, why do we need the internet if we have snail mail and we have phone calls?
Yeah.
Right. Why do we need any of that anyways? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we got to transition to an ecosystem of like participants that share an experience. That's why the metaverse and why you want to mint something like this in the way that this is, because it's a memorable experience.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Everybody talks about like when they were minting bitmaps, because it was a thing. It was like an event.
Yeah, Bitmap unlocked a whole slew of like of new potential for sure.
Yeah,
just in its like concept design, the idea of creating new utility out of block information.
Yeah,
it's a big fucking deal, right?
Yeah, especially for the metaverse.
That specific utility of like, let's interpret the data to architect like a landscape for the virtual environment, right?
Yeah,
that's non-arbitrary.
Yeah,
that's what bitmaps are. It's fucking insane. So now that we're talking about bitmap, dude, you want to? Are we done talking about? Oh no, we're definitely not done.
Definitely not done.
Okay, well we'll talk about bitmap later. Okay, so that first test, if you guys were there, 5-hour delay because it's just a lot of things were happening on the back end, right?
Yeah, and then everybody streams in, they start minting. It was like 2,000 mints,
and it worked out pretty good.
It worked pretty well.
I think at the final count was like, I want to say like 1,700, 1,800.
No, it was like 2,400. It was like,
oh, that's right. There was extras.
19 holders, 2,400 circulating.
So that was the problem.
Yeah.
It was supposed to stop at 2,000.
Correct.
But there was extra blocks. So like, something went wrong.
Yeah.
So what went wrong there?
I think people were able to claim more than one block.
That's right.
And there was a glitch in the interface where if you swiped it as you were clicking, you were able to select more
than just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the limit was 1 per wallet. But yeah, there was like a click and drag bug.
Yeah.
So I think the most I saw, somebody was able to get up to 4, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, damn, dude. Somebody,
yeah. And that's the whole point of the test, is to figure these things out. Because if it's just Iman and I testing it, we're not going to find everything.
No, absolutely not.
Right? So we had 2,000 people find everything. And what was cool is like, once this minted out, and it minted out like, I don't know, like 30 minutes, something like that. But the next day, so there's a live counter of how many people are in the map.
Yeah.
It was 2,000 on mint day. The next day, 24 hours later, 3,000 people just hanging around. They're just looking at it. They can't mint nothing.
Yeah. I think it's because the word spread about what was happening, and then anticipation for another test. So people were just like waiting for that drop, right? Because these crowns, they're cool on their own, like they're cool looking assets and such, but they were actually whitelist access to the redacted launch. So
correct.
There's actually something at stake here, right? Other than like you just want to be a crypto vigilante, and like help the cause, that's another perk.
Yeah.
So when was the next test after that?
So that was Friday. Yeah, that was Friday.
Okay. So it was probably on Monday, most likely.
No, it wasn't Monday. I think the next one was Wednesday.
So let's talk about Wednesday, dude.
So Wednesday comes, and so this Wednesday is the reason why we had to. Well, I wouldn't say the reason, but it's one of the big reasons why we had to delay.
Mm-hmm.
But Wednesday comes, we're doing like a pretty honest test again. It's a pretty normal day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, you know what we should do? We should jump in on Discord voice chat.
That's right.
And right before the mint, just so that, we can chat with everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, it's like, dude, this would be a lot cooler if you guys were, chilling in the chat room with us.
Were they saying that?
I think like one guy said that. But nonetheless, I mean, if you understand our history, we used to do that all the time. It's like Discord community calls and stuff, and we're gonna do that a lot more in the future. But the point is,
hopefully in the metaverse, not in Discord. Discord is okay. It's just
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, like these whole Twitter spaces and stuff. I mean, they're cool and useful, but again, we're metaverse maxis. And if you go back and see what we did in Decentraland, that was our homestead, right? That's actually where you would meet with the community and like discuss these things and stuff. Because that's one of the killer use cases of the metaverse. It's not obvious yet.
Yeah.
But one of our goals is to make that more obvious, specifically for Bitmap, right?
Yeah. So we jump in there. I tell everybody to come in. All of a sudden, there's like, I don't know, 50 people in the call, something like that. And then we set the future block height as like a countdown and block time, right? And we set it to 3 blocks, and of course, the first block takes a whole hour to mine.
Yeah.
And then the subsequent blocks take like maybe 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, for whatever reason, dude, Bitcoin fucking hates us, dude. Every time we line up a test, we get like the biggest blocks ever.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's a good sign.
Yeah. So it was cool kind of chatting with everybody and, asking like good questions, like all this stuff. And then so we finally get to the minting. And at first it doesn't work. We have to reboot the servers a little bit, and then it starts working.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we hear like these like whispers, like my wallet got drained. I was like, okay, they're just memeing. They're just like,
somebody
good old, just joshing.
Yeah,
right.
A little poke, a little jab here.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Like you guys, Yeah, but then it started happening more frequently, right?
Like,
somebody actually started, not a whisper. It's like somebody was like yelling. It's like, dude, it's like $1,500.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean $1,500?
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then it started getting into the voice chat. I was like, hey guys, these fees are extremely high. And then there was like $1,000. I was like, guys, if the fees are high, just say no. Just say no.
Just say no, dude. Imagine it's just like a spliff of marijuana, dude. Everybody says no to that.
Exactly. You never say yes to marijuana.
Never.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're saying like, yeah, this is like really expensive fees. Like, guys, if the fees are high, just don't mint. Just simple. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? These things are not worth that much. It's like $10, $15.
Right.
And then like you guys are looking at the Discords, like people are saying that they got drained.
Yeah, it's becoming like nonstop. Like just more messages coming in. It's like, It's like, Will, like poking you. It's like, dude, it's like there might be a problem here, dude.
Yeah.
And so look into this.
Keep in mind that this was a live mic, so we couldn't like actually communicate, right?
Yeah.
And then so it's like I don't know, for some reason I decided to just like pull the plug. Which is cool because you can actually do that, right? You can actually stop people from minting.
Well, yeah, there was enough people in the voice call too. It was like, dude, like I'm also experiencing, but it was exclusively like an Xverse thing, right? I was doing it with Unisat, so I was like, dude, this is cookie. It was fine.
Yeah, everything was fine.
It was crisp.
Yeah,
and then the 1 or 2 leather users out there, it's like it was fine for me too.
Yeah,
but a lot of people use Xverse, obviously.
Yeah.
And so what was actually happening to those?
So now,
Xverse
so if you're an Xverse user during this mint, you would click mint, and it was like it's 2,100 sats, right? This is like less than $1 right now, right? So it had to cost something because that's part of the test, and so anyway, people are paying the 2,100 sats, they're paying the minting fees and all that, and then they would go to like complete the payment, and then it said, the mining fee is basically your entire wallet.
Yeah.
Basically,
the whole balance. So you had 10 grand in there. You would spend 10 grand as a mining fee. Holy shit!
And then Xverse wallet, it says that.
Yeah.
It says you're about to sign a transaction where the fee is 10 grand.
Yeah.
And then you know what people did? They hit send.
Yeah.
They submitted it.
Yeah. Are you sure? Like
I'm 1,000,000% sure. They send me pictures.
Oh, really?
Send me pictures.
I thought I was hearing some people say like it was displaying me like a, like a typical normal.
What they're talking about is the Mscribe was displaying a normal price, But then when you hit, okay, I want a complete payment,
Pay with
then it would
wallet.
pull the wallet,
Yeah.
and then the wallet would tell you you're actually going to spend 10 grand for the fees here.
See, I'm not an expert user. So what is the nature of that like warning?
There's no warning. It's just
It's not even a warning.
the fees are 10 grand. Like that's it.
See, but Unisat gives you a warning whenever you're about to but you manually select like an overspend. Like I do every time I do a transaction on Unisat.
Yeah.
It's giving me like the calculations of like, what's the mempool.
Well, yeah, the same calculations happen on Xverse.
Yeah, but if I manually customize the fee, like I'm overspending by, I don't know, 20, 30%, just because I want to make sure I maintain that front row seat.
Yeah.
In the mempool. And I always do that. And then Unisat tells me, it's like, dude, it's you're like overspending here, right? And I'm like, yes, I do. Right? That's seamless. It's like it works every time. So you're telling me Xverse doesn't have that same like you're overspending here, lad.
It seems not.
God damn it. Well, if anybody experienced that, let us know. Because I'm genuinely curious. Because that's an issue. Right?
Yeah. So people are saying they got drained. This is a scam. Blah blah blah. And so I kill it. And luckily, as soon as I kill it, people couldn't mint anymore. Mm-hmm. So the bleeding had stopped at that point.
Yeah.
And then so people got drained basically every single. So if you only had $5 in your wallet, you'd spent the $5, right? Yeah. You drained it, right? But if you had 10 grand, 15 grand, you spent the 10, 15 grand.
Yeah.
Right. And so people actively clicked the send button, even though the fees were 15 grand.
Yeah. Correct.
And just to be clear, who received these fees, Will?
Not us.
No.
The miners did.
Yeah. Some ant miner.
Yeah. One of the miners who happened to be mining that particular block.
Yeah.
They all of a sudden received, the damage was around 1.37 Bitcoin.
Yeah. So you can imagine like the sweat.
Yeah.
The sweat in that room.
Well, imagine the sweat in the room before we knew the damage. It was like, it was infinite. The damage was infinite.
Yeah, that's correct.
Somebody could have had 3 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin in their wallet and all gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't so certain until we got off the call, like if that routing of those token balances were being sent to the fees or to us. We didn't know for sure.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's true.
I was hoping and praying.
On the call, I was like, hopefully you guys sent us the money because then we could just return it, right?
Right. And then once we got off the call, we're like asking our devs, is like, dude, where did it go? It's like, I asked it as like gently as possible. Somehow that's gonna like rearrange the universe to like go in my direction, like the way I want it to be. He's like, dude, please tell me. And it's like, nope. It went straight to the fucking Bitcoin miners, dude. And it's like, oh my god. Dude.
Yeah.
That's when like mass like the weight of the earth is like on your lap, dude. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments, right? Those don't happen too often.
Yeah, and dude, keep in mind, we started the mint and we closed the mint like in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah, to try and ease the damage control, right? Because something critically wrong was happening, right? And people say this is why you test, but you definitely don't want these things to happen, right? So, but it happened nonetheless, right? Mm-hmm. So then what happened? So
then we spent at least 48 hours, like doing a post-mortem.
Yeah.
Of like what the hell happened, how it happened, and why it happened, all that stuff. And then on top of that, just like the support of like trying to figure out like who this actually affected. And so we had to query our systems and then compare that to all the support tickets that were submitted and cross-reference.
Yeah.
Make sure that even the people that didn't submit a support ticket got a refund.
Yeah.
And it was a whole manual thing, and it took a long time. Now, if you're a veteran from Ethereum and you've used Etherscan, it's a good experience. I wouldn't say a pleasant experience, but it's good.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's sort of easy to understand what is happening.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you come from Ethereum, you go to Bitcoin, and you go and look at the block data, like the transaction data, it's an absolute mess to understand what is happening.
Yeah.
Now, if you're experienced, like you can kind of see what's happening, but if you don't have like a good amount of experience, you're not going to understand what is happening on that chain.
Yeah,
it's extremely annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to do all that. Like we had to teach our teams like, here's what a transaction looks like, and this is how Mscribe does the transactions. You got to go back a few clicks and funding address and And so it was a mess trying to get everybody to like, have an understanding of what was happening.
But nonetheless.
So finally we did. The damage was about 167 people, 1.37 Bitcoin, and then
I was actually relieved to find out. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
a lot. And yeah,
a 10-minute burn.
Yeah, I mean, and even though all the funds were returned, I know we like potentially shortened the lifespan of everybody at least like seconds.
Yeah.
Just depending on as much cortisol was released as a result of this like short-term panic.
Yeah, I mean I would guess the average loss was in the hundreds per person.
There's a few outliers out there who like lost 10 to 15,000, just a handful.
Yeah, like 2.
Yeah. Correct, but there was somebody in the chat saying they lost 3 Bitcoin while all this was happening, and so that's whenever like the big sweat bubbles were forming. I was like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
And then that got my mind racing. It's like, dude, what if there's like a 20 Bitcoiner out there lurking, But thank God, or whatever universal force is out there.
Well,
that's like
it was the time link. Had we left it on.
All right, thank you, Will, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody. Let's thank Will. Everybody thank Will, dude. Yeah, there it is. Woo! Did it.
Yeah, man.
We fucking did it, dude. Somehow, like, all this, like, the ropes came back together, and we made sure we made sure everyone's gonna be made whole. Like, this is our mistake. 100%.
Yeah, and at the time we couldn't say that refunds were gonna happen because we didn't know like where the money went. So it's like it wasn't clear for anybody for those like 48 hours that refunds were even going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There were some questions in there. I was like, hey, are we going to get a refund and all this stuff? And I would respond with, yeah, but it was never made clear, like an announcement. So we just issued those refunds and without saying anything to anybody. Mm-hmm. And then once they were done, then we posted an announcement. It's like, if you use X first, refunds are
refunded foo.
Refunded foo. Yeah.
I think people got a tickle out of that, hopefully. Funds are refunded foo, guys.
Yeah.
And they were. So it's like all is well again in the DMT verse.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, appreciate everybody who like, gave us or were patient and like didn't drum up too much like pitchfork activity within that 48-hour time span while we were like diligently making sure we're going to do this the right way, right?
Yeah.
Because that actually helped a lot, right? So like if the fucking ceiling was on fire and then you guys were like pouring gasoline on it, it could have resulted in like, some more mishap. But no, we had a nice 48-hour period where everyone was pretty chill and like they were very respectful.
Yeah.
And they understood like this is part of the thing, and they, most of y'all trusted us, and
and some people were saying you shouldn't do refunds. People clicked the button.
Yeah.
They decided to send the $15,000. That's their own problem.
Yeah. So this came out of our pockets, dude.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right? This is part of it. Again, like this is one of those things. Like we're in the fight, dude. Rocky got knocked down, dude. Pick yourself back up.
Yeah, you gotta pick up. Yeah, you gotta stand up and keep fighting.
Yeah, you can't just give up, dude. This is part of it, right? So this is why we're kind of like we're reminiscing on this. We've been. Obviously, we lived it, so we don't really have to, but this was like a real thing that happened, and we dealt with it, and here we are on the other side of it, and we're on our way to actually like fully executing and knocking out Drago, right?
Yeah.
The big Russian.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the whole goal.
Always take down the Russians, dude.
No. We love our Russian comrades, dude. What do you mean?
Yeah, for the most part.
But yeah, dude, so it was interesting to say the least. So here we are. On the other side.
So yeah, 48 hours later, we got the refunds. Same day, we do a test. We're like, we're not stopping. We're not gonna stay down.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, we told you if you got X-Verse, bring it.
Yeah. And you know what people said? I was like, I got enough confidence in you guys that I'm gonna bring it again.
And they did.
And they did.
They brought their X-Verse wallets, and we drained it again. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. Imagine.
Oh shit!
Imagine if it happened twice. Dude.
Yeah, we'd hang it up at that point.
No way, dude. There's no give up in this dog, dude. It's not happening.
Yeah, so we run the test, and this was a silent one though. We just we flipped on the switch.
Yeah, we had to make some fucking what's the word?
Yeah, we had to have some sort of mitigation, right?
Right. It was like, bring them all.
Yeah.
That would have been a little irresponsible.
Yeah, we literally flipped on the switch, and all of a sudden, these 82 users, right, currently, right.
Yeah, what are these guys doing in there?
They're just looking around.
They're looking
They're looking at us fly around.
Oh shit! Let's go find him.
So
Okay.
so we flip on the switch, and all of a sudden people are clicking. It's like, wait a minute, I can. There's blue blocks. I can click.
Yeah.
And so people were silent. They didn't say anything on Discord for a while.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Discord says, "Hey, is the mint on?"
Yeah.
And we stay quiet, right?
Yeah.
And people start minting all of a sudden. I think it was only 150 big, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it just mints out.
Yeah.
In like 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it mints out, we make an announcement. It's like, thank you guys for participating in the stealth test.
Yeah. And so what were the fun outcomes of that?
Well, no one got siphoned.
Right. But we ran into another issue. Well, it was it's just like a duplicate minting issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just another one of those things that we got to fix.
Well, it was close enough to like the deadline basically to where,
Yeah. We had to
we got to address this.
Yeah, we had to dissect the system a little bit more and figure out like why this issue is coming up.
Yeah, just because we got too much respect for King and this launch, right? To like not give it our fullest like due diligence just in preparations, right?
Yeah, and to think, I mean, had we launched anyways, it would have been fine, with this like practically 1-to-1 holder to mint ratio.
Yeah.
But we couldn't take any, like further risks, especially on a live mint. And
100%.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that everything's clean.
Yeah, so here we are. It's Monday. We're recording this, so we got a whole week of cleaning things up, basically, so that by next Monday, this launch occurs, right? So, yeah, it was an interesting week, dude.
But you know what? It's important. Like all these like delays and issues happens to quantum cats.
Oh yeah,
we've seen it on Magic Eden. We've seen it like all these places, right? There's always delays. There's always problems. Always like this and that.
Yes.
But there's never a podcast that talks about this stuff.
That's true. This is definitely, I don't know. I definitely haven't seen like what do you call it? A postmortem?
A postmortem, yeah.
To this degree. Usually it's like a little tweet thread maybe.
Yeah.
If that even. Yeah. So yeah, that's what people, I mean, if you've been following us for the last 4 or 5 years, that's been what we've been all about.
Yeah.
Right? Maximum transparency, maximum authenticity. Like we're not hiding a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Everything that concocts or like any new thought, we push it here.
That's true. We do.
Before the protocol of DMT was even a thing, we were like making videos and like just discussing the idea, hoping somebody else would pick it up.
Yeah, we didn't want to do this.
No, we wanted to build like metaverse applications and technology and stuff. We wanted to focus on that.
Yeah.
We're like, we understood the gravity of this protocol idea, but we were hoping there was some other, alpha Chad.
Yeah.
Who was just going to fucking run away with it.
Yeah.
And we gave it like 3 months.
We did.
3 months of us just talking about the idea. I was like, God damn it. I guess no one's going to fucking do it, dude.
That's right. Yeah. 3 months is plenty of time.
Yeah. But, so we had to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you're right. So we're going to keep that way of doing things. I don't know. Some people might hate us for it. I don't know why, but I'm sure they're out there. It's like, man, fuck those guys always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess, Andre Cronje, he says we test in production. And it's like, that's sort of what we do.
That was his famous thing. Yeah. He was the DeFi Jesus last summer or 4 summers ago.
Last cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Last cycle summer. It was the DeFi summer. Yeah. Andre Cronje came out of that looking like a fucking
the bee's knees, dude.
Yeah. Because he's out there shipping constantly and like, taking names and not.
Yeah, he was.
He's like, yeah, respect my DeFi.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he got tired of crypto. I was like, I'm done with this.
Fuck all you guys. I think he's still out there.
He's still out there, yeah.
But I think he's got a much more bearish sentiment just because, there's a lot of shit out there nowadays.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a delay.
Any other major takeaways from that experience for you, dude? I mean,
well, we got to test more heavily internally.
Well, for sure. Obviously, this like gives our team like a nice little caboodle, like a little boot. It's like, dude, you guys need to like.
This is real life, guys.
Yeah, this is how it is. Like these things have to occur to make you realize, like, we bleed.
Yeah,
we're fucking humans, dude. We need to like step it up.
Yeah,
if Tom Brady was in the room, he'd be like fucking headbutting all of us. Dude. He'd be like, go get it the fucking together.
Yeah, wake
guys.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, wake the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the energy that's basically like circulating. It's like, bam, helmet smash.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go, dude.
That's
we need
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So it's happening. Outside of that, dude, I mean, yeah, so we got another week. Anything else to talk about in the crypto world besides like what we're building? I mean, we were trying to keep our eyes on what's happening out there, but obviously
not a whole lot is
we're
happening.
heavily distracted. Well, there's things happening, but
Like what?
I mean, runes are collapsing. We could talk about that. I mean, I don't know. We kind of knew that was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of like crazy to see happen. You know, Leonidas is still out there, like dog's still going to the moon. But it's like,
Yeah, but let's start at McDonald's first.
right.
Yeah.
Let's pick up some gas.
Let's go to McDonald's first, and then we'll go to the moon.
Yeah, let's hit that space satellite that's like in Earth orbit. Like load up for a bit, and then we'll go to the moon. Stuff like that, right? And then I don't know, R6. I don't know. We haven't kept our eyeballs on that market space too heavily, so we don't really know why everything is kind of like going down. Other than
Bitcoin went down too,
but it came back.
It did come back. Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin went
to
all the way
like
down
57.
Yeah.
And then it went back to 60.
65-ish,
Yeah.
64-ish. So I was like, Bitcoin's just doing its crab walk, dude. It's
Yeah.
doing what Bitcoin does. So I was like, really, runes are just collapsing independent of that.
Yeah, they are.
Why? Because it just entered the market like oversaturated.
Yeah,
already.
It was overhyped. I mean,
Yeah. But it's gonna I don't know. So let's reevaluate, dude. It's been like what, like 3 weeks since the halving or something? What do you I know you haven't had much time to like really think about it, but what happens from here?
I think the only thing that's surprising about the halving and anything leading up to it was that Bitcoin broke all-time highs before the halving. That was literally the most surprising thing.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, I guess what's happened after the fact is just pretty much
As
routine stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were expecting like a bearish phase like after the halving. That always happens, right?
Yeah.
It's just like now what? Right now it's up to the market to again identify these new verticals of interest.
That's right.
Just like we saw the last halving, right?
Yeah.
If we rewind ourselves back 4 years ago, what were we doing? We were in Decentraland.
We were in Decentraland. COVID just happened.
Wait, where are we? We're in May, right? Yeah,
May.
COVID did just happen. It's been like 3 months of COVID.
Yeah. Everyone was spending all their time in the metaverse.
Is that an exaggeration? No. Oh.
No.
There were a lot of people in there for sure.
There's tons of people in there. There was a lot of people.
I can't tell if you're exaggerating.
No, I'm serious.
There were dozens of them.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, in context of like, you know, metaverse now to metaverse then, you're right. There was an ass load of people.
There's thousands, TJ.
Dozens, yeah. There were at one point there was a lot, right? There was a lot happening actually. Because yeah, the macro situation actually contributed to the narrative of the metaverse perfectly. It's like, dude, we're all locked into our physical
there was
environments.
2 things that was bullish. It was the metaverse and Zoom.
Zoom was fucking killing it, dude.
Yeah,
I remember.
they were.
Yeah, everyone was on Zoom. Like students across
Yeah.
the planet, teachers, everybody.
I mean, they killed it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, the metaverse like found its first like killer use case, right? It's like simply just
Anytime there's like a mass virus, the
Yeah.
metaverse is where you go.
right. Yeah, there was even conferences being held in Decentraland. I remember.
Yeah, I did a few presentations there.
I remember you were on the virtual stage. I was on virtual like seat,
Yeah.
and I was like virtually cheering you on, dude. It was great. You were like presenting. I was like, wow, this is the future.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, this is fucking sick. Actually,
Yeah.
we had our COVID masks on as wearables.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just to feel for whatever reason, it's like, you know, we're trying to escape the reality of
Bring
this-
it digitally.
Let's bring it right in, just so we can remember, like we're all fucked.
Why we're here.
We're all gonna die. That's how it felt back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. That was in a time where you go to the store and all the racks were empty. It was just empty.
Yeah.
It was pretty surreal.
It was, and I was the one. I was like, I told you so, dude.
You did say it's
I
like
fucking knew this was gonna happen.
Well, you don't have enough chickens, and I've been telling you.
Like, where's your cans of spam, dude? It's like, what are you thinking? How do you not have buckets of grains?
Yeah.
You know, what
I
kind of...
had none.
Yeah, I know. Because, I mean, I don't know. I just live in that perpetual state of anxiety, dude. That's what that is.
Yeah,
anxiety, it's a good and bad thing, right? Obviously,
It's good when you're right. It's bad when you're not. Then you're just crazy.
Yeah, and it's bad if you allow that anxiety to, like, tumble you into a spiral of, like, a pit.
Yeah.
where you just can't get out of. It's just goddamn.
The whole goal in crypto is to get your crypto ranch, right? Like it's to escape reality.
I think so. That should be. If everyone's goal in crypto is to get Lambos, that is not a good idea, dude. If you somehow make it in crypto and you're blowing all your loads on Lambos and fucking penthouses, dude, you're not paying attention to the macro situation, dude.
I would agree.
That's my philosophy.
It seems obvious, but maybe not.
It's definitely not obvious, dude. But again, everyone's individual. You can do with your life as you will, right? But yeah, nonetheless.
Yeah. So definitely not enough chickens.
Well, we went back to 4 years ago for a reason. I forgot why.
Oh, because we're trying to equate what happened 4 years ago to what's happening now 4 years later.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the exact same, like
it's the same feeling.
Yeah, where people just back then were just as like confused and like befuddled as like, what are they going to be the driving forces for this next bull cycle? Besides Bitcoin, right? Everybody knew Bitcoin at some point was going to like be the driving force, as it always is.
Yeah.
But, then what? Like, where does the liquidity trickle into, right? That was like when DeFi was uncertain.
Yeah.
Before the DeFi summer wave, like NFTs were just like in a barely used protocol.
Yeah.
Things like this, right?
Yeah, it was like the early days of BRC20 where we found the whole market cap was like 20 million. That's what NFTs were, the market cap.
Seriously. It was ass, dude.
Yeah.
I remember looking at like what was it, NFT Radar or something like that?
Yeah.
One of these like tracking sites where they're tracking the volume and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the top 10, like number one maybe had like 1 million, 2 million tops, and the rest of them like tens of thousands. It looks like everything we're seeing in ordinals.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
It's like a repeat, right? Which gives me like a good comfortable feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we've seen it happen once already where it's like everything we're interested in at that 4-year phase from where we are today.
Yeah.
Those were the things that actually took off.
They did.
All of them.
They did.
Everything we were just like paying attention to. Like, and you can go back, watch our fucking podcast from 4 years ago.
Yep.
As proof.
Yeah.
We were looking at Axie Infinity. We were looking at all the metaverse infrastructure platform, or, Decentraland, Sandbox, whatever.
Yeah.
We were paying attention to the art movement and the Beeple drop and all that stuff.
Yeah. Polygon.
Yeah,
second layer stuff.
We were aware of this.
We needed it. We needed Polygon because we had a business.
Yeah.
Right. And we needed it. Right. So we were aware. We understood what was needed.
Yeah. Was there anything we like completely whiffed on, like missed completely?
Well, I'm sure we missed some.
Yeah, we definitely missed Solana for sure.
We made bad calls. Yeah.
We missed Solana. I didn't think, like, whenever we saw all these other L1s emerging, like Avalanche and, Binance Smart Chain did its thing, but it was all copy pasta. I was like, this shit's fucking whack.
That's why we faded it, because there was no innovations on any of those things.
No, they're literally just, copying all the open source code of all the DeFi primitives.
Kind of like what we saw with Ordinals, right?
Right.
Ordinals was its own virus that spread to other chains.
Mm-hmm.
Now all these other chains are doing inscriptions.
Yeah.
And now they're doing a ton of volume on those chains because of those inscriptions.
Well, not necessarily so much anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it had a virality presence for sure.
Same thing happened with Bitmap. It spread to other chains.
Yeah. Yeah, but Bitmap's definitely in like a limbo state for sure. As like,
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Bitmap.
Yeah, we could close it on that. A little 10-minute discussion. Where are we right now in the state of Bitmap? It's actually been like a month since we made our last Bitmap update, and that's for...
It's probably been a month since anyone made a Bitmap video.
Right, there's a reason why. It's because there's not much happening. Because it's a technical challenge, right? That cannot be overstood.
Not only is it a technical challenge, meaning even if you were well-funded, right, it is a technical challenge.
Yes.
Even with money, right?
Right.
So having said that, it's even more of a challenge when the burden is on the community to build it.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And, that's not going to work, right?
Well, yeah, look what's happening with the other side. I mean, if we're talking about well-funded.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Literally like a week ago, Herman Narula and like Improbable, they're just now like telling the world like the last year we haven't done anything because like our partnership dissolved basically.
Yeah.
Like I wonder why.
So the Yuga Labs and M-Square, they're both tweeting like we're back together again.
Yeah. It's
all we're friends again. Like
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think that's a testament to just how challenging and difficult it must be to architect and design and execute on like a metaverse vision which they probably don't even got right, to be honest.
No,
Actually, I'm
absolutely not.
certain they don't have it right.
No, they have the right technology.
And they have the right treasury.
Yeah, they have money.
We got plenty of that.
Yeah.
But
well, there's no guarantee that they're going to nail it.
yeah, those are not like winning ingredients all the time, right? Obviously, they're incredibly useful.
They're helpful.
They're helpful. But man, like these challenges you talk about, like they're vast, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is something we expected. Bitmap it's still a solid foundation, a solid idea, a solid ground, like
foundational piece. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, and going back to M² and Yuga Labs, they have the technology. By the way, that technology to run it is extremely expensive. Like, yeah, it's cool to have thousands of concurrent users, but on the back end, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per hour. Like, come on, you can't sustain that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a nice vision, right? When it comes down to like tangible practicality and execution, it's many, many, many years out potentially.
Yeah,
right. It's just, but still, like we could find some sort of middle ground or like some sub middle ground, be up below that to where we still produce, tangibly exciting and life enriching experiences in this whole metaverse space. Right? It's still doable. It's not outside the realms of
of course,
capture.
Absolutely. Yeah, and part of our strategy was to support everything that Yuga Labs and the other side was doing because they have an audience, they have a community, right? We want to service that community. But all of a sudden, it took 18 months for their partnership to solidify or to regroup. Like that was unexpected.
That's true. Yeah, so we were wondering like what's they put out the open source tool of MML, right?
Yeah.
Which we've been leveraging in our internal, I guess, development and testing process of like, what we think developers will need.
Yeah.
Specifically for Bitmap.
And it's cool. I like it. I think developers and creators are going to like it too because it's JavaScript and HTML.
Yeah.
The most well-known languages in programming.
Yeah. So that all of a sudden, like it expands our demographic of developer capture, because that's really the name of the game and the goal, right? Because you're saying, what Bitmap does is align a community, right? So where we all have a cohesive direction of what it is we want to achieve, right? We want to build metaverse infrastructure. We want to collaborate on this endeavor. It's very challenging, like you said.
Yeah.
And if we could all like come together and contribute towards that, then we've pushed the ball forward at least a little bit into the right direction, right?
Yeah, I totally agree.
But in order for that ball pushing to occur, we need more developers to like drop more technology.
Yeah, we need to set an example. Is like this is what you can do. Like kind of like what's so impressive about Natcats is that Evie just like came out with it.
Yeah.
And he didn't just like release a thing. He did it in a way that was supposed to be done without even knowing how it's supposed to be done.
Correct.
And so I don't think we're going to repeat that lightning in a bottle situation again when it comes to metaverse content on Bitmap OS, for example.
What do you mean?
Meaning we are going to have to come up with the first content.
I don't know, dude.
I hope not, but
that's what we said about like we were going to have to be the ones to showcase how do you create like a unique non-arbitrary token, or like how to approach that.
True.
But like you're saying, EV. Okay, so you're claiming that as like a one-off. There's no way that happens again.
I don't think it happens again. Because it's more complex.
It is very complex.
It's definitely more complex because you have to follow structures and standards, and if you don't, it's not deployable, right?
Yeah.
And so,
well, it's true. That's what happened to us in our Decentraland presence, right? We developed like the right, I guess, technical primitives to get to the direction where we're having robust functional apps, that are ownable and hostable in a metaverse environment, right? Land distributed environment.
Yeah.
Right? Where the people who actually have access to content deployment, they're not necessarily developers themselves, right? So like something's got to give, right? Otherwise you're going to have a completely unpopulated metaverse where like the people who own this virtual land have no ability to like contribute to the experience itself.
That's right.
Other than producing like static, non-interesting builder stuff. Right?
Yeah.
That was always like, fuck that.
That
sucks.
Yeah, if that's the only thing that you can produce as a metaverse is just like static content, it's over.
Yeah, from the start.
It's over, 100%.
Right? Yeah. So we had to showcase that with our apps and stuff, and it did very well. So I think you're right. We're gonna probably have to deploy these things we call metas, dude. We haven't talked about our metas in a long time, but we really want to get back to that state.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where we're contributing to the metaverse at the infrastructure layer with DMT, because we do think that starting from a data source that is widely distributed, accessible to the planet, and a reference point to digital physics, right? Physical physics, and we got the digital version of it. It's like, I think that's a good starting point for any metaverse.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, that's our thesis, right? So it is like our driving, motivating thing. But still, at the end of the day, again, we want to be in the metaverse because we are metaverse maxis. And we want to have like...
Pretty soon, everybody's going to be a metaverse maxi.
Yeah. We want Bitmap to be like, dude, we're in there. Like, we're literally having these podcast discussions and all you guys are around with us.
Yeah.
That is like our vision, right? And we got pretty close to that in Decentraland.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen at some point. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. We talked about bitmaps at the very end, DMT at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The siphoning.
Yes, again, apologize for the cortisol spike, dude. Just everybody consult your cardiologists.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't that bad, but if it was, dude.
I think it was.
Genuine apologies, dude. If you think it was,
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty fucking stressed, so I can imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, if we miss anything that we should know about as far as Bitmap or DMT, let us know in the comment section below. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.